Hello, hello, you guys. All right, yesterday I spoke about the feminine energy and the masculine energy and how it relates to your sales efforts and your burnout and how you're feeling and all that kind of stuff, right? Because I deal with online entrepreneurs that are wanting to make their sales work for them. They want to step into leadership. They want to create an income for themselves, whether or not that income is only $100 or $500 or $10,000 a month. Everything hinges around the fact that you can take action. And that is where a lot of you are struggling, taking the action. You're procrastinating, you are afraid, you are finding different things, you're unorganized, you're having burnout, you have mental load all over the place, and you're not taking the actions that you really need in order to move the needle forward, move your business. And that's what I'm here for, helping you to walk it free, helping here to overcome these mindset obstacles, these physical obstacles. And I do that by teaching you first and foremost here with my free content, but I also do this through my freedom mentorship group, which is only $27 a month, by the way, if you are interested to dive into this and really like take that journey, take that life journey, because it's not just your business, but it starts with your actual life, with everything around your surroundings, your physical health, your mental health, your way how to approach emotional situations, triggers, how to deal with life in general. That all has an impact on how you show up in your job, how you show up in your sales business, in your sales career, in your job, in your leadership with other people, in your connection with other people. All of these things are hinged based on how you feel, believe it or not. And if your nervous system does not feel right, if your body doesn't feel right, if your brain is not aligned with who you are, your identity, you're feeling safe, right, within yourself, you are not going to venture out into these sales activities that you're wanting to do. You're not going to ask people because that would be scary. That could mean rejection for you. You won't do it. If you don't feel safe at the core inside of yourself, you will just simply not take the action. And that's what I'm here to help you overcome. All right, let's dive straight in. Okay, we are going to structure this in three parts, this video. So part number one will be your survival mode and the brain. Uh, so when we think about it, okay, it's thinking harder is really not going to be the option, because thinking harder worked overwhelmed women. What am I saying here? If thinking harder worked, overwhelmed women would be the best strategists on the planet, but you are not. Okay, so when you look at your life and you're looking at every single thing that you're doing, you are pretty overwhelmed, right? You're pretty stressed about everything. And working harder is not going to make your strategy actually work. But doing this instead is actually going to work. So we need to move our brain out of that survival mode, okay? And our nervous system is controlling the perception of things. So how we look at things, how we see it, what meaning we give certain triggers in our life. So for example, if somebody says no thank you, if you're reaching out to a person, a prospect, and they say no thank you, if your nervous system is stressed and you are overwhelmed and you are not in the right state, you're going to look at that no thank you not as a fact communication of they may not be interested, they may not be in their time of like it's not for them at this moment, but you may look at it as no thank you. You read things into this, you take offense possible to words that are maybe not meant that way. And it's really tricky in social media when you are actually texting or when people are on the whim. I've seen this a lot where people would give me a message and I would read into this message something, and it triggered me, and I would read into this message something completely different than what they actually meant. And if I would go back then a few days later feeling different inside of myself and rereading that message, I'd be like, oh, isn't that bad? Why did I react this way? Have you ever had that situation happen to you? If you have, let me know in the comments. I mean, this is a common thing. So, don't feel shame of commenting here or talking to me, or you can also send me private messages if that feels more comfortable to you. But it's really important that we have this conversation the human way, okay? In the world of AI, in the world of everybody making things pretty, it's important that we embrace humanness, that we embrace our vulnerability, that we embrace shame and feelings and triggers and emotions that are coming up for us, because we are navigating this perfect life. We are navigating this expectation that we put on ourselves and that the world is putting on ourselves. And it's some people, okay, I'm kind of getting off topic here for a second, but it's really important that I say that. Some people think that when we give in to the pressures of other people, that we need to just be victim. It doesn't work anymore for us, right? So we adopt this victim mentality. And what I want you to do is I want to empower you to realize that you are more in control than you think. Because I see this anxiety, depression, overwhelm, quitting, all these diseases, I want to call it, okay? Please don't be mad at me, but I see those traits. Those are not you as a person, but it's a behavior, it's a trait, as toxic. I see those traits as the devil, really. I mean, I see those traits as just keeping you small. It's stuck in your pattern that are not true. Okay. And what I want to do here with all my content, as a matter of fact, I want to empower you to realize that you are just so much stronger than you think you are, and that you have so much more power than you think you are. You do not need to find the way of anxiety or depression. You can start working with what's really going on for you. The root causes, the shadows, the stuff that nobody wants to put out here, but it's important that we talk about it. It's important that you know that your humanness is something beautiful and needs to be embraced, okay? So here's the thing. When your nervous system is under attack and you're stressed, you are going to see every kind of information coming at you in forms of a message, in forms of a phone conversation, of whatever, as you attach a meaning to that. Okay, so it's not just an interaction black and white. It's going to be black, and then out of the sudden you have a bunch of colors coming at you. And that is how your brain is going to attach meaning to whatever it is that you are hearing and seeing, but through a lens of your nervous system. I hope that makes sense. So stress narrows your focus, okay? We talked about this yesterday a little bit when I talked about the masculine and the female energy, but the stress that you are under is narrowing your focus to provide short-term safety, okay? But that means you're going to only look at this information from one angle, one narrow lens, okay? One small little angle. And strategic thinking really requires you to look at it from multiple angles, okay? If this does not work out, I do that. If this does not work out, I do that. And it requires you to be regulated, because you can't have a narrow mindset looking at something through the stress lens. You need to step away, right? Sometimes you hear this, people talk about zoom out a little bit, get a wider lens, look at the situation from multiple different angles. What exactly does that mean? In case of, let's say, you are getting this message and you're looking at it from an angle of stress, and you're looking at it and say, yeah, sales, and then you over dramatize, right? Your human brain wants to over dramatize and say, map, see, I was not meant for this. People don't respond to it. People don't want what I have to sell. and you are not stepping out to see a bigger lens of maybe that one person was also stressed that day and didn't choose their words wisely. Maybe that one person was on the go trying to hustle their kid in the car. Maybe that one person had bad experience with X, Y, and Z that you're selling. Maybe that one, there's a gazillion different things that could also be true, right? What is also be true is kind of lost when you feel stressed and you are just responding to your own agenda. So what also is being true is what's needed to have strategic thinking, okay? Because that interaction that you are having here, you make that mean something about you. And this is where it gets really messy and really tricky. When you make this mean something about you, now it either adds to your stress, and then your nervous system is working overtime, right? The fight, flight, and freeze responses are fawn. You're hiding. You're like, you make that mean something about you, and then you stop. So your procrastination, not reaching out to people, all of that is part of this. It's a symptom of what is really going on, and that's your state, your inside of state, your the way how you feel inside with your nervous system. That is where it's at, okay? And it's really important that you become aware, because once you are aware, see, here's the thing, once you are aware, you are going to be able to do something about it. Okay. So part number 2 is your mental load is a stress pattern. I love patterns. I love patterns. It's one of my biggest gifts of identifying patterns in people and figuring out what's going on. And I recognize patterns a lot. It's just something I can do, right? Not necessarily an IQ test, maybe, I don't know. But I can see emotional patterns. I can see people's patterns. I can adjust to patterns easily. Like, it's just something that I love to do. And overthinking, when you're overthinking certain things, is actually a pattern of monitoring. Okay? So your brain, when you overthink it, your brain is trying to monitor the threat and trying to monitor and assess the threat level for yourself. So when you are not able to take the and make decisions, for example, decision fatigue, it's actually a physiological thing. It's not that your brain is not capable. Your brain is working on overtime. You are capable, but it's your body together with that outside stimuli that is happening all over the place that is causing the problem for you, and it shows up in decision fatigue, right? So overwhelm is really not a mindset failure. It's just a physical response to what is going on underneath. And I love talking about this underneath stuff because I refuse, and here's the thing, I refuse to believe that 80% of the people are incapable of doing the things. It's stupid. It's stupid. I do not believe that. I do believe that the 80% of people, everyone is able to do and earn 500 extra dollars. And what would 500 extra dollars a month mean to you? What would that mean to you? Think about it. What would that mean to you? Would you be able to pay your Christmas bill? Would you be able, why is my computer off? Would you be able to pay for a trip, right? Would you be able to pay for something else that you want? Would you be able to pay groceries? I mean, some of us are struggling to put groceries on the table. Would you be able to put extra towards your retirement saving? What is really causing you so much stress, right? So when you look at the big picture here, you need to deal with your health. You need to deal with your mindset, with your emotions, with your nervous system, because the solution here is not us doom scrolling. The solution of us is not to hide in our anxiety and our depression. The solution is most definitely not to put medicine on it and keep you numb. Okay, that's not. The solution here is, oh gosh, I get so fired up about this. The solution here is actually awareness of what is really going on under the surface for everyone, whether or not it's you as a business owner, maybe it's you as a job owner, you have a career in maybe any kind of sales job, maybe you are a mom, maybe you have kids, maybe you like all of it, okay, all of it, life. It's important. So mental load is a stress pattern, okay? It's a stress pattern, the way how you show up, the overthinking, decision fatigue, overwhelm is really not a mindset failure. It's just showing you that something underneath needs to be healed and taken care of. Okay. Part number 3, why relief changes your business results. So this is, I love to talk to business owners because I happen to believe that business owners are actually more inclined to actually do something because it's directly tied to their physical financial safety. I feel like normal people often don't really see the need why they need to do personal development, even though they can benefit from it. They are not putting the connection in that once you build yourself up, that you can also be a better mom, a better spouse. You can be a more qualified friend. You can be a better human, right? But I don't think that a lot of people are necessarily that are not in business that are really understanding the power of it. I don't think the world is to that point just yet that you would hire a coach to help you with your life. I think it's more business individuals that are actually making that connection, that coaches can help you actually succeed much better than any medication can. It's a wild claim, I know, but please hear me out on that. Anyway, so part number 3 is why the relief changes your business results. When you feel safe, when your body feels safe, your energy feels safe, you allow yourself vision, okay? And we talk about the mission, vision, values, right? We talk about this all the time. We talk about content creation. How can you be creative if you feel under attack? Think about it. How can you feel vision when you have tunnel vision because your system is stressed? You can't. You cannot. You can maybe throw something at the wall and hope it sticks, right? Maybe you can follow and copy and paste people, but you will never be able to step into that vision that is aligned for you if you feel stressed. So your foundation has to be healing. Your foundation has to be calming, peace inside, okay? Not feeling stressed. And I know it's easier said than done. I'll tell you, I'm living in a situation right now where it requires every bit of my tools in my tool belt to get me and keep me in this level because I'm attacked from all angles all the time. So I am living proof that when I keep continuing to have free talks like this, right? This is not scripted, you guys. This is me talking because I've lived this. This is me telling you because I have done it. I know how this feels. I know what it is. So that's why I can teach it. Okay, this is why I can teach you because I've gone through this process. So safety only happens when you have figured out what's causing this threat and then disrupt the threat and then are putting different strategies in place, work with it, become a master of your mindset, a master of your emotional triggers. And when you have that, your vision will flow. You out of the sudden will start feeling, oh, yeah, that makes so much sense. This is my purpose. This is what I got to do. This is what I can do. And your creativity will be easy. Everything will be easy. You know that flow state that we want to get into, it will become super easy because you're going to be aligned. Your system is aligned and you're stepping into that purpose. Your regulation restores confidence and decisiveness. Okay, out of the sudden you come across, you don't have to force confidence. You are confident. Okay, you are not having to force decisions, they just happen. You naturally will sort out. Energy fits and aligns, energy does not fit. No, thank you. Yes, please. No, thank you. Yes, please. No, thank you. It will come naturally. And that means when you prospect people, it will be very apparent to you saying, nah, not my person. Okay, Yeah. Interesting. Not my person. Yes, interesting. You see, and it won't cause you stress. You will not beg for somebody's um, approval or acceptance. You will be good by yourself within yourself. Okay, that's really huge, guys. This is huge, not just for your business, but for your private life too. When you're constantly worried that a friend likes you or not likes you, that's not a good thing. That's not a good spot to be in, you know? You want to attract people that are naturally wanting to cheer for you, and you want to be okay by yourself, okay? Because leadership often is by yourself. And if you want to lead others, you've got to be okay by yourself. Okay. Sustainable success requires capacity, not pressure. Capacity. How can you get capacity? See, we are dealing with burnout, right? We're dealing with mental overload. We are dealing with all that's your focus. But you want to step into capacity, getting more on bigger, wider things. That's what where if you want to have more money, that's where you end up being, right? That's the final road. Like that's your six-figure plus road that you want to get to. And see how you can have an issue if if you are already overwhelmed right now, right here, with what you've got going on, and then now I'm asking you for a bigger vision, and now you're going to be like, oh my gosh, whoop, there's no way I can have more capacity. I'm already minus capacity. I'm already below capacity. See, do you see where this is a problem? You need to find capacity, and the way how you find capacity is by calming your system down. Calming your system down so you can start realizing where you need to take action and what and how you can do this, okay? So inside the Freedom Mentorship, we don't just hand you more strategies, okay? Because you don't need just more stuff. I'm going to help you to figure out where you are stressed, what your nervous system is going to need, what your issues are. And it's not just me telling you what to do, it's me helping you tell yourself what to do. And that is huge. That is different than any other coaching program you have there. So if you tell me that, oh no, I already have a mentor, oh no, I already have an upline, that's great, but they're not teaching you what I teach you. Okay. All right. So if that is sounding good to you, if you can resonate with any of the things I said, do me a favor, check out the link in the comments, in the show notes, in the wherever you are watching this right now. Check it out and do yourself this favor in 2026 to start healing your nervous system, start calming down, start figuring out your business from a different angle, the angle of a healed, connected person, so you can level up and take the steps towards a life you won't regret.